Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another fabulous speed build. If you could not tell by the title of this video, today I am building a Woohoo Motel, a functional Woohoo Motel, because if those of you have already downloaded and purchased the new Lovestruck expansion pack, then you know that there is a new Woohoo Hotel, but it's kind of like a wormhole effect, which is fun and, you know, nice, but like, this is a functional one. Yes, it will only necessarily function if you have the For Rent expansion pack, which is kind of like womp womp. But I did think it was fun to build, and it is really fun for storytelling purposes. I did make a pool that is very inappropriate. Did I laugh the whole time? Yes. Did I struggle to make it? Yes. The slot was not as big as I thought, so the pool is not as big as you'd think. But I had a really fun time on the gallery. I believe this is called like the Pink Flamingo Motel, and I really spent a lot of time on the exterior, and I struggled because it's very boxy and it's borderline a community lot, which for those of you who know me, you know I kind of avoid those like the plague because I'm afraid of trying to build a community lot. But funny enough, I thought what really brought it together was the parking lot that I'm working on right now. I used tons of debug cars and was just trying to be the best version of myself that I could be while building a Woohoo Motel. Jesus. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have been planning this build since the first inklings of this pack coming out. You know how The Sims always manage to get like their new stuff leaked? I don't know who on the team is getting blamed for that. It's not even always EA's fault. Like sometimes it's like third-party sellers. But since I heard of this pack, since the tea's been spilled, I have been thinking about this Woohoo Motel, which I think is mildly funny and also wildly inappropriate. Like, why has this been on my brain at least once a day for the last month and a half? I don't know. I'm not here to answer for these things, okay? I pay a therapist for that. But I really struggled getting it together because it's very boxy, and I wouldn't call it modern because I was going for like motel. Not cheap motel, not dirty motel, but motel nonetheless. Like, maybe not quite off the exit ramp on the highway, but pretty darn close. Like, in terms of luxury dining, there's probably like a Wendy's down the street. So when you get a little hungry after all your activities, you just run down there. But, yeah, I thought it came out really cute. Oh my god, here comes the pool. No one get mad at me. I tried my best, okay? But, as I was building this, I very much struggled, and I want to say that the exterior is probably 60% of the footage I have. I don't know why I didn't cut more out, but here comes my penis pool. I don't know what else to call it. Right now, it kind of looks like a demented Mickey. I had to cut it. Like, that's how long it took me to build this pool. All in all, this motel has, I want to say, 7 rooms and 7 bathrooms, and then it also has a little bar area, a little snack kind of area, which is just like pink vending machines, and the whole place is pink. For those of you who have been watching my channel for a while, you know how I feel about pink. I'm in my pink era, okay? Shout out to you if you know that. Someone from stream, shout out to Matt. Matt was in my stream the other day, and he was like, it's blue, but like at least it's not pink. And I was like, you are so valid and so right, and why do I feel so warm and fuzzy right now? So shout out to you if you're watching this. But you guys know I've been in my pink era, and I have been loving it. I like the new pool surrounds, and I think that's really what made the penis pool, like, really pop, if you will. But don't worry, I made sure to add plenty of floaties and outdoor patio space, and it just came together really cute. You're probably wondering how this functions, and I will tell you. If you have the For Rent pack, you should be able to go through and section off each room for like each unit, and then where the shared space is going to be. And then as the landlord, you have the option to set the lease terms, and you can set it to 1 day, and that way it would kind of be like a revolving motel thing. It's not perfect, but for some reason, the Sims team has not gotten on that Island Paradise shit, which is the Sims 3 hotel pack. And we don't have hotels or motels or bed and breakfasts, and I'm really hoping we get them very soon. I know people are talking about like ferries and cars and blah, blah, and you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I'd be really excited to get a ferry pack, especially if it was as good as the werewolves pack. But what I really want is like a little bed and breakfast moment. I say that, but I also recognize that Dine Out was one of the first stuff packs or game packs to come out, and it doesn't really work. So I guess I'm at this point where I'm like, do I want them to do it if it's not gonna work? Because sometimes me and EA, we're tussling. Like, mentally, I'm feeling frisky against them. As far as the new pack goes, I released a build, which I will link at the end of this video, but I built a penthouse for Don Lothario, and I was having like a real rough day at work. I have 2 jobs, for those of you who don't know. I am girl bossing very close to the sun. I don't really want to talk about it because I'm feeling like I might throw up if I think about it too much. Don't worry, I'm constantly worried I'm going to get fired from both jobs, so the whole security thing, yeah, this girl boss does not have that. But I work at a, like, nightclub. Like, I work in nightlife part-time, and I have a full-time big girl job. And sometimes on certain days a week, like 2 of the days a week, I get up at 8, and I start working at 8:45. And I work until, I don't know, 5. And then I go in for my night shift. So I end up doing, like, 16-hour days, 18-hour days, and sometimes I feel a little wore out and beat down. Very grateful, but very, like, tired, you know? And I was having a bad day. I'm not gonna lie to you. There was some biatch who threw a receipt and a pen at me. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I will not lie. I was a biatch back. I was a bigger biatch. I was using all the profanities. I was going like this. And I'm not sorry about it. She was like, you can't talk to me like this. I'm a customer. I said, you just threw something at me. You're lucky I'm not going to have you arrested. Would I do that? Honestly, I don't know. I was feeling pretty hot. But I did have her escorted out of the building. And she is no longer welcome back. And then her friend was like, you can't do that. Like, you just can't do that. I said, oh, yeah? Bye-bye. And then her friend left too. So, rule of thumb. Don't throw things at your bartender. I don't even know why, because our interaction was so brief. It was like, hey, what can I get you? And she got a Heineken and a High Noon, and she was like, I want to close out. I was like, great, close her out. Said, this is your receipt. Watch out, it's wet right here. Gave her the pen. And then I was ordering someone else, and she just threw it at me. I was like, I have to explain this to you guys. I am very afraid of confrontation. I'm very much a people pleaser. I'm a middle child. I will do anything to avoid confrontation. But once I am there, I am my father's daughter, okay? Let me tell you, I'm my father's daughter to my core. And unfortunately, I was having kind of a bad day, and this woman was just a straw. And I probably unloaded on her a little bit more than I should have, but she threw something at me. That's so rude. I'm so sorry. The ADHD brain just, like, goes all over. What I was saying is I built this penthouse for Don Lothario, which was super out of my comfort zone. This entire build style has been really out of my comfort zone. Everything from, like, the first house I built with this pack, which I put out last Friday, question mark. I struggle with the real boxy builds, but everything's been out of my comfort zone. I had never built a penthouse before, so I built a modern-esque industrial penthouse apartment for the man, the myth, the legend, Don Lothario. And I love him, and I thought it came out really cute, but I'm not gonna lie, there are lots of builders on this app, lots of builders in general, on the gallery, everywhere, that are so incredibly talented, and I wanna just tell you guys this in the name of transparency. I am not top 10%. Definitely not. You should see me try to use, like, terrain manipulation, and you're like, oh, girl, I pop. But anyway, so it's really out of my comfort zone, and I get out of work last night, and I'm taking my makeup off, and I was like, oh, like, let me just see if my video, like, did okay, and I'm, like, looking. There were, like, 3 comments on it that were so nice to me. I'm not gonna cry on the internet over, like, sweet comments, but I was like, oh, this build looks terrible. I should post my Woohoo Motel instead, but I hadn't finished the voiceover. As you can see, I'm yapping right now as we speak, and I had a really bad day, and that lady threw a pen at me, and I was very, very tired, and I didn't eat anything. I have been surviving off a bowl of Reese's Puffs at, like, 4 p.m. for the last, like, 4 days. That is so unhealthy. That and caffeine, and pure determination and rage. And so I just, you know, haven't been slaying this week or the last few weeks. And I was sitting in my car crying about these comments. I couldn't even respond because I have this really toxic trait about, like, responding to my YouTube comments at, like, inappropriate times. They're inappropriate to me, but like I don't know where the people who left these comments like live, what time zone they're in. But like sometimes I'll be like going to spin at 6:30 and I'll get up at like, if I get up like a little earlier and I'm like scrolling in my bed before I get up. Oh my god, that's a bad habit. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. But anyway, I'll be like, oh, let me, cute house. I'm like, oh my god, thanks for the support, blah, blah. And I'm like, it is definitely 5:40 in the morning. What am I doing? But I was feeling a little emotional, so I didn't respond, but I will be responding to your comments. And if you were one of those people who left a comment, first of all, why are you so nice to me? That was really sweet of you, and I appreciate it. And that was my roundabout way of telling you that I was feeling loved, and it was the highlight of my day. And I also told you that I, in fact, am a confrontational person, although I try not to be. There are a lot of times where I think to myself, like, damn, if I just let the confrontational side of me out right now, game over. Game over. You guys know that episode of SpongeBob where he's like trying to get like more assertive for himself, and then he orders an abrasive side, and then he'll like turn around and he's all like the green scrubby fuzzy side of the sponge, and he's like, yeah, fuck you, buddy. That is me. That is me to my core. And I think people forget that I'm a sensitive being because I have a big skull tattooed on my arm, and I am not afraid to say very colorful language right to your face. In fact, I think it makes us all better as a whole if I just get it out there. But I try to be nice. I try to be a nice girl, and if you raise your voice at me, I might cry, and that would be very embarrassing for me if like a stranger was just like yelling at me because I messed something up and I cried about it. That's like my biggest fear, is getting caught crying at work, because I'm long past crying at work. That college job, my freshman year of college, that bathroom saw many of my tears. So we're well past that. I guess I have to set new goals because I certainly couldn't obtain the first one. Anyway, I'm going to try to talk about the build a little bit more because I was just yapping my life away. As you can see, we are finally on the interior. We've been on the interior for probably, this is our second bedroom, or our third. This is our third room. And if you haven't been watching because you've been listening to me yap, I was attempting to make every single room a theme, if you will, so you could kind of unleash all your fantasies and your roleplay. Or that sounds so gross. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I read the smuttiest smut books, and sometimes I get secondhand embarrassment for them, and that's kind of how I feel right now as I'm like talking to no one in my house about a Woohoo Hotel that I made. But I was attempting to have a theme, so I'm trying to remember all the themes off the top of my head, and we'll definitely look through all of them in grave detail. But the ones we've seen so far, there's like a pink heart room, and then I made like an oceanic fishing room. Like maybe mermaids like to go there, I don't know. I don't want to typecast nobody. And then I had like a retro kind of leathery woohoo dungeon vibe at the last one. This room that we're doing right now is it's inspired by Vladdy Daddy, and I'm not upset about that. I'm not apologetic. I'm not sorry. I actually thought the vibes were quite fun. I was really loving wallpaper. I've been talking about wallpaper, I shit you not, for like the entire week and a half. I've been loving wallpaper, been having a lot of fun just like mixing and matching. I built a house Monday, I think, and I was like, guys, can you believe I used like 12 different wallpapers? And I don't think anyone but me cared. But it's like that sometimes. It's like that sometimes. But like, I use the ghost wallpaper, I use a spiderweb wallpaper, I use cow print wallpaper. I feel like I get a gold star, at least in my own brain, for being like so out of the box, because I typically use the same like base game white trim, like pastel painting stuff on all my walls all the time, and I never branch out. And if I do branch out, I use the white base game brick swatch, which you can see on the walls right here. I've really been trying, but some habits die hard, and my paint swatches, they're one of them. We are in our cow room, or our country room. I don't know. I just thought the themes were fun. It might not necessarily make sense. I, believe it or not, have never been to an establishment like this, but I do know there is one nearby. I know someone who's a firefighter, and the county he works in, there is one of these in real life. I don't know if it's themed, I've never asked, but he has been called out there several times, and it's like known, like the whole county, like the fire department frequents that spot for like all sorts of things. But you could imagine what it must be like. So basically this was inspired by that and my love for The Sims and the fact that, I don't know, I just want to have a little fun. But we are in our space room. We're finishing that up. I love getting to use all the different like woohoo beds, like the pod and the coffin. I did not put a woohoo bush on this lot though, which is kind of impressive and also kind of sad. So maybe I'll fit one in before I put it on the gallery. But we are coming to the end of this build. Okay, team, we have made it, and it does kind of stick out where it's at, but I also really like this like little park area. You kind of pretend that it's an extension of the entire lot, but here we are. I am obsessed. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was building this like late at night, you know, and I saw these flamingos from Base Game Debug, and I sized them up and I put them up here, and all I could think to myself is, wow, I'm a fucking genius. I still feel that way, but like, I recognize that I really didn't do anything groundbreaking. I just want to pat myself on the back sometimes. Anyway, as you can see, we have this like nice little kind of parking spot area, and I made my own planter boxes with some small wall height half walls, and then obviously we have this glorious penis pool, which we stand that. This couldn't be a Woohoo Motel without a penis pool. You know this. Also, this is kind of irrelevant, but if anyone knows any tips and tricks to get better screenshots, I really struggled to get a good screenshot for my thumbnail of this house. It also looks horrible on the gallery. Let's start in our like kind of main office area. This whole office is definitely more for storytelling purposes, but you could not tell me that the Cozy Bistro Kit wallpaper and tile do not look utterly stunning in here. I mean, I want to put this wallpaper all over my house. I want to roll myself in this wallpaper and just absorb its perfect pink energy. But I thought it was really cute. Lots of heart chairs. This is from the new pack. This is from the Pastel Pop Kit. And I don't, like I said, I don't think any of this is functional, but then I imagine you have like a little snack bar kind of thing over here, which is fun. And it's got like this kiosk thing, so you can kind of pretend it's like do it yourself. I don't actually think this is functional, but for storytelling purposes it was fun. I was going to either put a bar or a laundry kind of area, but I figured since these are like one-day rentals, people ain't washing their clothes. But what do I know? What do I know? And then we have our little snack area over here as you exit into the pool, and I put a little outdoor grill area, which I will say for like a crappy motel, I feel like it's way too nice, but we have pink flamingo statues. I can do whatever I want. Then, of course, we have some lovely little, oop, that's clipping and I'm not going to fix it. We have some lovely pink loungers, and I thought we would start in this space room right here. Some of the rooms are more like suites, and some of the rooms are more like just rooms. But I did put like at least mini fridges and microwaves in those, because depending on how you want to play in this, if you decide to download it, which if you do, like, comment, be like, hey girl, I came from a YouTube channel, like, shut up, I'm gonna cry about that. You could actually have a sim like live in here full time if you chose that. We have like a little living space, we have a bathroom, nothing special, and then we have our room. It's very boring in here, but I just wanted the sleep pod to really give the vibes. Like, I just wanted it to be like Christian Grey and, you know, aliens in the room. Good vibes. This is the red room, but space edition. Next, we have our little country chic room. This is one of my favorite rooms because I absolutely love this cow print wallpaper. It also comes in other swatches like cheetah and leopard, and I think that's fun. But I thought it was really fun that you could have like, what is it, Don Guzman, like come up in here and like ride that rodeo all the way to town, if you know what I mean. Then we have this room, oop, that's embarrassing. Based off Vladdy Daddy, which includes a pipe organ. I don't know why a motel would have this, but this is for the vibes at this point, okay? And a small little kitchenette. Then again, kind of a big vibey room, some blackout curtains for Vladdy Daddy, and a little ensuite. Now we're going to go upstairs into our kind of a retro red room, complete with this kiss slip couch. Do I see myself using this couch a lot? No. Do I think it's really fun? Absolutely. And there are some items in the game that I definitely think are more for like storytelling purposes or just extremely exaggerated, and those lips are one of them. But I thought it was like a fun little retro room, but this could definitely be a suite. Your sim could live here full time. It's got like little kitchenette area, and then of course a bathroom. Next we move on to our kind of tranquil zen room. I imagine it smells like natural wood, and they probably have like a dehumidifier in here or something. And I also love a good excuse to use this base game wallpaper because the leaves are just fun. I don't know. And it's like giving spa, it's giving vibes, and I like that. I like that a lot. A little kitchenette over here in the corner, and a bathroom complete with the vibes. I tried to match the bathrooms like a little bit to the vibes I was going for, and I didn't put that much effort into them, but better than me just using all the same base game stuff like I normally do. Next we have another little like suite room. Oops. And this is like our fish room, and I based this entire room based off of this item from the Everyday Clutter Kit, and then I happened to just run across this little like fishy, I don't know, like wind chime kind of thing from Island Living, and I used the Island Living cabinets, and I used blue appliances. I absolutely love this sofa from high school years, and yeah, it's blue. It's underwater. It's fish. It's giving fish. I have fish? Yes. Well, last but not least, we have what I would consider to be kind of like the honeymoon suite, and it is just decked out in flowers and romance and petals and all the good stuff that you would definitely want all the time. And then I had to put that new little costume trunk in because if you're newlyweds, like, I don't know, you gotta push the bounds a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. There are balconies on every single room, I believe, except they're very small. I didn't put anything on them. So if you downloaded this, you could put some more skill building items if you so choose. And that is pretty much the entire motel. I had a wonderful time building this, and if you enjoyed watching it and hearing me out, make sure you give it a little thumbs up. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to drink your water, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.